Why were you in front of the tower, though?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife? We haven't heard mention of a wife before, have we? Well, I mean, he had children, so logically he probably did, but...
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it?
No.
And she still wanted me out.
How do you shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
You didn't like Wilhelm, I take it.
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Ah, yes, a fortune, in fact. Where did it find? Wilhelm's wife sold it, I believe.
Hag.
Ah, interesting. I'm done asking about that.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
Yes, I do. Well, no change on approval or anything. And we're going to do our standard cycle, so we're going to chat with Morrigan. See what she says.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Oh, right, yes, we've asked that one. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many
I have been called cute before, yes. The person in question did need glasses. And one person needed glasses when they said this and wasn't wearing them. And one person says, "You're adorably you." And you're cute when you're evasive. Yeah, I think we'll banter back. Yeah, and you're cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were.
Indeed.
Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Do you still think that was fun? They got what they deserved. Did they? I don't know. Don't you regret hurting any of those men at all? Well, I don't know what those men were like, so I don't think I can say either of those. Do you still think that it was all fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
There are worse things than death. Death before dishonor. Oh, what would you say, Gaheris? I don't know. Because that's kind of my viewpoint. A little bit kind of death before dishonor. I'm kind of a bit lawful stupid in reality. Occasionally. But I think in certain situations, I think Geras would agree with her, especially because Fergus. I mean, we've not heard anything from Fergus. He's just missing, probably dead after the Battle of Ostagar, and with the wilds and everything, and the Darkspawn everywhere. That's Coastland. I've got to fight the line. I've got to fight How and get Highever back. So you're probably right.
An enlightened view, or at least an agreeable one. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Of course. Morrigan approves. What do we get? Morrigan. Morrigan's critical eye is not reserved solely for others. Knowing or not, she has simple fondness for jewelry. Is very particular about her appearance. I don't think that was the right thing. But we do have gifts. I forgot. I could have given these out. So, right, to the Black Grimoire. So that's for Morrigan, if memory serves.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What? Don't I even get a kiss? That's a bit cheeky. What do you hope to find within it?
Secrets. My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
And Morrigan approves, +9. And we have a new quest. Found Flemeth's tome and gave it to Morrigan. She seems quite eager to start studying it, and Maker only knows what she'll learn. What's her opinion of me now? 37. Sten, +15. Shale, don't think likes me, +2. Does like me. That's me. Alistair, 28. Liliana, 39. Oh dear, I keep doing this. I try and be agreeable and give people the gifts that they want, and then I end up kind of romancing Morrigan and Liliana. Oh, I don't know what's supposed to go with what. Chantry Amulet, so that goes to Liliana.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Right. Water-stained portrait. Sten, I think, likes those, doesn't he? A unique portrait significantly slightly water-stained of a man wearing furs and a heavy crown.
I am impressed. My thanks.
Cool. I should probably... Oh, the Rose of Olay appears to be a book. The Arrogant Chevalier Garin. Oh. Because it's Olay, I'm wondering whether we should give it to Liliana. But I think Wynne likes books. Huh. Right, what do I... Sten approves, Liliana approves. Right. And I've got a load of things I can sell, haven't I? Already had a bit of a chat with Sten. Liliana.
Something I can help with?
What would someone like you be doing in Lothring's Chapel? I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Olay?
I miss Valroyo. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Valroyo was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Valroyo, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Denerim is just as magnificent. We've never been to Olay. We'll have probably stayed around Highever. Not sure how old Geras is, but we probably would have gone to Denerim, but I've never been to Olay.
If you get the chance, you should see it, at least Valroyo. Of course there are good things and bad things about Olay, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Hooray.
Do you not have fine things now? She'll probably say no, especially like the leather armor. But do you not have fine things now?
I left behind much, leaving Hooray, but there is more to life than dresses and furs. It is sad that many have lost sight of this. Hooray is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Shoes are shoes, though. Oh, I love shoes. Were they ridiculous shoes? What's so special about shoes?
Well, they're shoes. They're pretty. Some of them anyway. When I left Hooray, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Wouldn't that be hot? You've lost me. He'd probably have an idea of fashion, but I don't think he'd as in there is such a thing as fashion and people wear this. But wouldn't that be hard to walk in?
I wouldn't want to run in it or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room, perfect. The shoes made in Hooray were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
You don't need fancy shoes to make you beautiful. Ah, no, I think he's going to be a bit romantic and say that. You don't need fancy shoes to make you beautiful, Liliana.
Thank you. It's kind of you to say so, even wearing these mud-covered horrors. They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Indeed. Liliana approves. +1. Win. Let's have a chat with you.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
No, you're a person. Gladness, you're very sprightly for your age, though. Still some life in those old bones, I bet. Yeah, there's still some life in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
You're not allowed to be done quite yet, Wen.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
I'll hold you to that. You're not allowed to die. Alistair.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Da-da-da. What do you know if you hate the chantry? No, I've asked all these, haven't I? Why have you remained Templar if you hate the chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
You should chat with Liliana about fashion. But aren't you wearing the Templar heavy plate now? And it's just heavy plate.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
Do all Templars make jokes, or just you?
Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity arises.
Or bad ones.
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Then make up something more interesting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Enjoyed hunting mages, did you? No, I think I understand. You put yourself into some work. Actually, would hear us understand. Come on, brain. No, what did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly. But also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. Never really felt at home anywhere, though. Until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic. So I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
We're travellers now. My home is taken over by All How. I'm gonna get it back.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be travelling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well... a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Although that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose... the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
Nope. We can rebuild them. We have the technology. They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
It's alright, I do a lot of sidetracking on my own. So yeah, we've gone around, we've chatted to everyone. I'm actually going to call it now, but I'm going to stand in front of these guys to remind me to sell things. I will then forget it. So, yes. I can see the next step and going, why am I standing in front of the merchants? Let's go! Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.